So another beautiful day. While the whole country is complaining it's hot, Missouri has done really well this year. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks of hot temperatures, but overall the temperature's been really nice. And just got done raining again. Unfortunately, I had to run my generator this morning. There just wasn't much choice. It wasn't getting any sunlight, so I ran it for, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. So don't like that. Had to go to town today, stock up on our meat. Of course, we still try to go to town when we can, well, about once a month, I guess, to stock up on our meat so we don't dip into our chicken and have to pressure our chickens. Now, the reason we get to go to the grocery store only once a month is because we do eat all the eggs that the chickens produce, and that really reduces the amount of meat that we have to eat. There's days that we'll eat eggs twice a day. Now, I know a lot of people say you can't do that, but we're on a carnivorous diet, and I've said it many times, never been healthier. Quite happy with our life right now, how happy and healthy and mentally healthy we are. We went and spent $168 for a month's worth of food. Carolyn's in there packing it up now into 1 pound packages, put it in the freezer. Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to run the generator tonight. It's too cloudy. I mean, the sun's popping up in and out in between these clouds. So I'll have to run the generator all night long so the freezer can freeze up the meat. But when you really think about it, it'll use just under a gallon of gas to run the generator all night. Right now, gas prices here in town are $4.08. And propane cost, we just filled up our propane tanks, 4 of them. It's roughly about the same price to run the generator on gas or run the generator on propane. We have 2 generators. We got one that only runs on gas. Then we have a dual fuel that runs on propane and gas. And once again, I'll put a product link right here on the screen. Hit the screen, the product link should show up. A lot of people have been having problems with that. They say if you go down to the description and you look, you can see the product list in the description, click that. So those generators will be in there. So when you really think about it, $4 extra for our food price, so it's $168, so now what is it going to be, $172 for our food to run that generator overnight. Still not too bad. Normally what we try to do is we find a sunny day and then we put the meat in the freezer early in the morning. We go shopping in the morning, come back, put it in the freezer, and it freezes by nighttime. Then we don't have to run the generator. And then during the winter, during the hard cold, we'll put the meat in the cooler and let the meat freeze with the outside temperature in the cooler. That way we don't even have to run the fridge. Take about 3 days for the meat to freeze in that cooler. That's how you do it when you're off grid. So today they announced that we are now officially in a recession. We've had 2 quarters of negative growth. Now, I understand that the administration is redefining a recession, but as recessions are defined in the past, we're in a recession now. I don't want to argue about the economics of all this. It's and the definitions and who's right and who's wrong. It does mean that we're in tough times regardless. Now, I know that people are saying, well, we can't be in a recession because we have higher employment. Well, I mean, there's all kinds of theories behind why there's higher employment. It doesn't make any difference to me. We all can feel the crunch of it. Gas prices are going down, we've seen. It's probably went down 70 cents for us, but they're saying that it's going to go back up in October. As a matter of fact, the frozen chicken that we bought last year to can up, they come in 10-pound bags. Right when the temperature started to change from cold to hot here, whenever that was, March, April, the chicken was 49 cents a pound, so $4.90 a bag. And then it went up to 65 cents 2 months ago. I don't check it every month. We've been trying to figure out if we want to can more chickens, what we're doing, and we decided we're not going to since we have our own chicken that we're going to butcher here, well, probably in another couple months. And so we're wanting to save the cans and the jars back so we can can those up. So we decided, well, we won't buy it at 65 cents. Well, now we can't. It's at 99 cents per pound. So it went from 49 cents just a few months ago to 99 cents. So that's $9.90 per bag. It wouldn't even be worth it. Considering we got the free chickens now, we incubate our own chickens. It really didn't cost much to feed them. It doesn't matter if you believe in the definition of the recession or whatever. The fact is you're paying almost double the price, a little bit more, double, let's say probably a little bit more than double the price for chicken. That's inflation. It inflated from 49 cents to 99 cents. But on a good note, for me, is we're debt free. So that means all the money that we make, we put in a savings account. Now, all my life, savings accounts have been just ridiculously dumb. It's just a dumb idea. And I never understood this because my grandparents, that's all they did. They put money in a savings account. And seriously, that's how they saved for retirement. They didn't put stocks and 401ks. They didn't do any of that. No, they just put money in a savings account. And back then, I mean, savings account were 15, 20% interest rates. It was crazy high. But if you wanted to get a credit card, you're paying, 30, 40%, whatever it was. It was crazy high too. So back then, not many people got loans. Of course, the time I remember grandma putting money in the savings account, we had high inflation then too. It happens to be higher now, but we had high inflation. So it made sense to be debt-free, put money in the savings account. Well, all my life it hasn't been, because we've turned in from a savings society into a credit society. My grandparents bought cars with cash. Well, nowadays, that's not even heard of. You go into a car dealer and say, I got cash. Boy, you need to be smarter than the car dealer. I mean, essentially you go in there, you get all the paperwork drawn up that you're going to buy it on a loan and say, well, here's the cash. Otherwise, they'll rip you off if you tell them you're going to buy cash because they don't make any money off it. They want the interest. To me, I'm glad that the inflation hit because it required them to raise interest rates. Now, the argument is going to be, well, you're having to spend more money, so the extra inflation doesn't do you any good. Well, that's not true. I'm not spending more money because, again, I did it right. I got off grid, so I don't pay an electric bill. I don't pay a water bill. I don't have any bills. The only bill I have is insurance. We have our cell phones. Shut those off if we wanted to, but I make money online, so it's important that we have internet. But that's I can write that off on taxes. Oh my gosh, don't say that. All the trolls are going to come out. Oh, you're ripping off the government. No, I mean, it's a legal write-off. You can write off internet for taxes if you're using internet for work. I've tried to think through what I can do so I don't have to endure another recession. I started a business in 2001, a consulting firm, and it was doing fantastically well. I mean, just amazingly well. And then in 2003, the recession hit. And it sunk us. Well, I mean, the business was so new, I didn't just want to shut it down. So I had one customer left. So what I did was I bought, with my last $800, I bought a lawnmower. And I started going around town cutting grass for $10 a yard. And it got us through. It got us through to the next year where things were going better for us. And then 2008 nearly destroyed us. What I learned from 2008, I have applied to my life now, and I came out ahead. 2008, I bought ducks and sheep and goats and chickens, had some rabbits. I did it all. And I learned a lot doing that. Learned how to raise them, what I want, what I don't want, what was a waste of money, what wasn't a waste of money. People tell me all the time, get goats, get goats. I'll never get goats. They're terrible. I absolutely hate goats. I've said it in previous videos, so I'm not going to repeat it. So now, I've established my life off of what I learned. I learned how to install my own solar panels on the cheap back then. But back then, solar panels were expensive. Now they're really cheap. You can pick a panel for $80, $70. Rich solar panels is what I have. And you can just piece it together. You can buy parts at Walmart and Amazon. I know there's these packages everybody buys on these, fancier, more expensive channels. They buy these packages and have experts come out and put it all together. But you can do it yourself if you understand that red goes to red and black goes to black, negative and positive. That's all there is to it. I feel like that I'm going to survive this economic downturn and inflation and the crisis a lot better than a lot of people will. It's just not going to hurt us. The only downside is the generator. Unfortunately, I still have to run the generator occasionally. The weather has been really strange this year. I would have had hoped that we'd have had a sunny summer, just like always, but we don't. It's been pretty cloudy this summer. So you got to run the generator more than I like. But as long as you're smart about it and you figure out what's cheaper, propane or gasoline, right now it's about even. Propane and gasoline are about even, but when prices go back up, I'll switch over strictly to propane. So right now I'm running the propane generator for water. long story, but my old generator has to run faster and it uses more energy trying to run the well than my new generator. It's just more efficient. And I can measure that, I mean, with the price. But if I had to, I can run the well off the solar panels if it was not so cloudy. I've been saying for a long time that people need to get debt free. I mean, years since this channel started. Mine was just a slap in the face. I had to do it. My wife left and I was stuck with about $50,000 of debt. I had to buy my daughter a new car. That was part of the child support agreement. So, well, not a new car, but I had to get her a car. So I gave her my car, but the only way I could get another car was buy a brand new car off credit. I had good credit and I was just sunk. So now I've got another $26,000 I owed in taxes, back taxes. I had to pay taxes every month because I was self-employed. I didn't realize how far behind we were I mean, we were always up to date on payments, but I didn't realize how far in debt we were to the IRS. And they charge penalties and interest every month. I mean, I wasn't doing anything illegal. I was paying, or we were paying. She was in charge of the finances. So when I got it, it was like, I don't know, I think we owed $10,000 to the IRS. So I had to pay all of it. I mean, and I just buckled down and paid. Fortunately, we found a cheap house to rent. It was $350 a month. It was a really good deal. I mean, you can find those occasionally. This is the time where you need to really think about what I've been saying all along. I'm not trying to push my lifestyle on you, but you are here. You are watching this channel for a reason. It is time to think about getting yourself a piece of property. And every time I say this, a lot of people say, I can't find property like you did. We found this place for $4,200. And I'm always arguing, yes, you can. Carolyn sees them all the time. Well, a person from Florida looked in Missouri and found property under $10,000. So yes, you can find it. So what I've said to you the other day is sell your house. You won't get anything out of it. What you'll get is what you owe, maybe a few extra dollars. So get yourself a piece of property with a few extra dollars. Get yourself a little shed. You can buy them at Home Depot. Of course, we built ours. I built mine by myself. You buy yourself a little shed. You have to insulate the walls and put walls up on the inside. And you can make that your house. Get yourself a wood stove. And it's 2 years of hard work is what it is. After that, it's a wonderful life. You don't have to do hardly anything except take care of the chickens. And of course, you got to be debt free. And so get rid of that house. Get rid of that car. Buy yourself a used one. And you'll get ahead of this. So if you will you click that super thanks button down there? I'd really appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire you to get ahead of this so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.